But also we have the problem of anti-nutritional factor in diet for soybean. One of them, we have the phytate, and we use the phytase, and we have the beta mannanase. This anti-nutritional factor has many adverse effects at the physiological level, immunological level, and also at metabolic level. It increases the viscosity, right? It affects the gut integrity. It induces what we call leaky gut syndrome, and we have some data to support that. But also it affects the immune response.
Welcome to another episode of Poultry Nutrition Blackbelt. I'm your host, Dr. Pratima Adhikari from Mississippi State University. Today, in the matter of bringing new guests in our episode, we have Dr. Sami Dridi from University of Arkansas. Dr. Dridi, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Pratima. Thank you for having me, and I really appreciate your invitation. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Dr. Dridi. It's a very awesome opportunity to have you here. Dr. Dridi, if you want to talk a little bit about how long you have been with the University of Arkansas and what kind of research you do in your lab.
Yeah, thank you. I joined the University of Arkansas in 2013. I got my master's degree and PhD in 2001 in France, at that time with INRA. And then I moved to the US. I did several postdocs from West Virginia University to Lexington University, Kentucky, and then Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and joined the University of Arkansas in 2013. My research mainly focuses on the heat stress response at the molecular level, and also the metabolic disorder, such as muscle myopathy, wooden breast, white striping, spaghetti meat, and also bone attrition, lameness. What we try to do to understand the mechanism behind those, metabolic disorder, and then to use or to develop or to help developing mechanism, based strategy to mitigate them.
With science-led solutions that are sustainable, proven, and effective, the ASF helps you tackle the challenges of poultry nutrition. We offer high-quality feed ingredients that enable a more sustainable production and help you achieve your animal performance targets. We call it the science of sustainable feed that succeeds.
Thank you for sharing that. I know in today's episode, we're going to particularly talk a little bit about beta mannanase and beta mannans first. I know you have been doing with that in the anti-nutrient factor quite recently. So I know there's a lot of challenges in poultry industry, right? Poultry industry, and we talk about opportunities and challenges. But today, I would like to talk a little bit about if you could share some adverse impact of beta mannan and what is out there about beta mannan.
Yes, thank you. Poultry industry, it's very important, right? It's provide, the support the livelihood and provide, food security for billions of people worldwide. And what I mean, poultry, like egg and meat. The challenge that we are also facing, based on the FIU, by 2050, we need to increase the animal protein, the production of animal protein by 73% to feed 9 to 10 billion people by 2050. From those 73%, the poultry meat and egg or protein need to increase probably by the double. How to do that? We are facing several challenges, whether, planetary boundaries from climate change, global warming, resource availability. We talk a lot about water scarcity, but also we have the problem of anti-nutritional factor in diet for soybean. One of them, we have the phytate, and we use the phytase, and we have the beta mannanase. This anti-nutritional factor has many adverse effects at the physiological level, immunological level, and also at metabolic level. It increases the viscosity, right? It affects the gut integrity. It induces what we call leaky gut syndrome, and we have some data to support that. But also it affects the immune response, because the system or the host recognize that anti-nutritional factor as what we call PAMP, PMPS. It's, and I am sure that you know that, it's the pathogen-associated molecular patterns. And once it recognizes that by mistake, it will induce immune response, which means the animal will use the energy to fight that instead for growth. And if you combine all those effects together, you will end up with a reduction of performance, feed intake, feed efficiency, and so on.
Oh, thank you. I mean, this is a great insight. And also, for those of you who do not understand, a little bit on the side of the immunology, I think that this is a very one-on-one description of what the body recognizes it as it has to act against. And then we are using this all feed cost, right? Goes with that. And then you're using that to really helping the bird to overcome those issues, then putting on their weight, like protein, for example, right? But thank you. With the beta mannan, and I think some of us and most of us have heard in this audience about enzyme that we use particularly to use against this beta mannan anti-nutrient. So what is this role of beta mannanase against the beta mannan?
The beta mannanase will reduce that beta mannan to what we call MOS, and then once you have that, then you will reduce that viscosity. And also that MOS will act as prebiotics. It will modify the gut microbiota and microbiome. Several papers out there, they mention that. But in our case, we use the beta mannanase in Turkey, and we measure the growth performance a day in collaboration with a group from Germany, BASF, and from Colorado, Dr. Sakole and his group. And we measured growth performance at day 21 and day 49, and we see there's improvement of feed efficiency and body weight and feed intake. And in an attempt to understand what is the mode of action of that beta mannanase, we, as I mentioned earlier, the beta mannans affect, induce inflammation, viscosity, stress, and leaky gut syndrome. We tried to measure several, as I am a molecular biologist by training, we tried to measure several markers related to stress, inflammation, and gut integrity. First, we measured, we assessed the gut integrity by FITSI. We gavaged the turkey, and we found that the beta mannanase reduced the level of FITSI in the serum, which means there is a better gut, integrity. And then we measured heat shock protein, which are the stress marker. And we found that also beta mannanase improve the protein level of heat shock protein 60, 70, and 90, indicating that there was less stress when you use beta mannanase at the level of the gut. We used the genome, by the way. And then we measured some pro-inflammatory cytokine, including interleukin 8, TNF-alpha, interleukin 6. And we found also that the beta mannanase reduced the gene expression of interleukin 8 in the genome. This indicates that probably you have less inflammation there. And finally, we measured several tight junction protein. The gut integrity is under the control of a protein complex that contain tight junction protein, gap junction protein, adherence junction, and also desmosome. We measured several gene expression related to those tight junction, and we found that beta mannanase modulate also the expression of those tight junction protein, which indicate there is an improvement of the intestinal integrity. If you combine all those together, probably that's what lead to that improvement of growth performances and feed efficiency.
Oh yeah, excellent, Dr. Dridi. So, have you presented these data or planning to publish this paper out this soon?
Yeah, we have the first paper that we measured systemic cytokine, pro-inflammatory cytokine, and heat shock protein in the circulation. And that paper has been published in Poultry Science. And the second one that I told you about the tie junction and the FITC, it is under consideration in Poultry Science too.
Appreciate it. So we'll be looking forward to read those paper, and we'll be having a lot of information out of the all the molecular work and also the application or modes of the beta mannanase. So at the very end, maybe this will be our last question about the due to the short timing of these program. What is the potential future application of these? And I know you talk about this. You did a study and are publishing data out of that. So do you think like more people using this as a because you talk about soybean meal, right? That's one of the beta mannanase in soybean meal. So how much do you see, or it's already they have been applying these products? So
yeah, thank you, Pratima, for this elegant question. That's a very good question. For now, like in the younger Turkey, the rate of inclusion of soybean is quite high, and also the digestive system of young turkey is not well developed. We see a nice effect of beta mannanase. I think probably that would be also a beneficial effect if you use the beta mannanase in all the poultry operation, whether layers or broiler or in terms of, as for producer, it's economic question too. What if you improve that feed efficiency by, 0.1 point or FCR by 2 or 6 points, what that bring you in terms of economy? That's probably in the future we need to do some economic study to see that cost effective and beneficial effect. That's the first one. The second point, what would be the effect of if we combine beta mannanase with other enzyme, beta mannanase with phytase, with, for example, phytogenics and minerals and vitamin? What if there's a synergic effect, or what would be that effect? And my third also a question for future application, and I am really interested. I am curious about what would be the effect of beta mannanase in terms of heat stress response. If we know that heat stress induce leaky gut, we know that beta mannanase improve the gut integrity. Then we use beta mannanase during heat stress, would we improve the gut integrity? What would be the effect of supplementation of beta mannanase on the metabolic disorder in poultry? All those questions, I think, my guess, we may have some beneficial effect, but future investigation are warranted and are needed.
Excellent, Dr. Dridi. Thank you again for coming to our episode, and thank you for all this information and a nice discussion about beta mannan and beta mannanase and future of the poultry industry. I really appreciate you. Again, thank you again, and I hope I will see you at IPSF or IPPE in a few months.
And then at WPC and PSA in Toronto too, Pratima. It's nice meeting you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
Take care.